Hello, my name is Eric Yurkovich and I'm an Associate Principal at Ramey Associates. Today I'm going to do a brief primer video on what is land use for the South San Francisco General Plan update process. So what is land use? It really describes the human use and activities that happen on each parcel of land within the city. There are dozens of different land uses and activities that happen across South San Francisco. We take each of those uses and we organize them by type. On the left-hand side, you can see some of those residential types. Single-family residential are shown in yellow at the top, with duplex, triplex, and townhomes shown in orange, and multifamily residential is shown with that dark brown. In addition to those residential uses, there's a series of non-residential uses within the city. Retail, service, and hospitality are illustrated with those red. Sometimes those uses have more than one use on an individual parcel, and we show those with a hatch and call them mixed use. Sometimes you have a parcel with retail or service uses on the ground floor, and above it you have residential or office, and that's what we call mixed use. In addition to those retail and service uses, there's also a series of office, research and development, and industrial uses within the city. Office and R&D uses are shown with that light brown color and include life sciences and biotechnology. Gray includes things like warehousing, logistics, and are all part of that bigger category of industrial uses. There are also a series of public and institutional uses within the city. The public uses are shown with a blue category. These include city-owned and operated buildings like City Hall, but they also include things like churches and schools, which are operated and owned by other entities. And green shows parks and open space. Once we've organized these land uses by these different types, we take a time to map them out within the city. This shows the existing distribution of land uses across the city. Residential uses are shown in the yellows, oranges, and dark browns. Retail and services are shown in the red, with mixed use showing red with a hatch. Office, R&D, and biotech are shown with those light brown colors. Industrial is shown with a light gray. Public and institutional uses are shown in blue, and parks and open space are shown in green. This diagram shows the distribution of uses across the city. So single-family residential occupies about a third of the land area within South San Francisco, and residential uses occupy just under half of the land area in South San Francisco. Office and R&D and industrial make up about a third of the land area within South San Francisco, with industrial uses making up about a fifth of it by itself. Public and institutional use and parks uses also make up about a fifth of the land area within the city. The city has a series of tools to help regulate different land uses within the city. These tools include the general plan, specific plans, and the zoning code. Today I'm going to talk specifically about the general plan and the zoning code. Each city in California is required to have an update, a general plan. The general plan includes what we call the general plan land use map. This land use map establishes the policy direction for land use into the future for each city. The land use map shows the different types of land uses that are allowed on each parcel and the density or the intensity of each parcel. The map really shows future growth, that future policy direction for the city, and it's not necessarily what's on the ground now. And it's important to note that the land use map is really supported by the policies and the goals and implementation actions that are included in other chapters of the general plan, including things about infrastructure and transportation. Zoning really implements the vision that's established in the city's general plan land use map. Zoning includes development standards and guidelines that really shape the character of future building and development within the city. It includes very detailed lists of the allowed uses on each parcel, the density of that use, building heights, setbacks, requirements for parking, open space, and transitions to neighborhood properties. the state of California requires that the general plan and the zoning be consistent with one another. Right now, we're moving through a process to develop land use alternatives for the city of South San Francisco. And we'll be going through a series of community meetings over the summer of 2020 to define and talk about the trade-offs with different land use policy choices in the city. Once we've narrowed down the selection of a land use alternative through a community process, we'll develop a general plan land use map, or that preferred alternative from the alternatives process. Once that general plan land use map is established, we'll go through another process to kind of establish the more specific zoning requirements and regulations for each of those parcels of land within South San Francisco. We encourage you to go to shapessf.net for more information on the South San Francisco General Plan update process, to join our mailing list, and to learn about upcoming events. Thank you very much.